Hi, I'm Katerina from Sustainably Rooted, and it is May, and I'm excited to take you on a garden tour of all the wonderful things happening in our garden. It has been a very long time, I felt like, since I made a video, and there is so much to show you, so many things that are happening. I'm so excited. Let's get started. This is Sustainably Rooted. This is where we talk all things zero waste and sustainability. My goal is to help make sustainability easy and obtainable for you and your home. The probably most obvious new thing for us this year is our fence that we have around the garden right now. Um, if you've been following me on Instagram at Sustainably Rooted, you'll know that bunnies took out a lot of my broccoli, and I was not about to continue that journey. So our bed is now currently lined all the way around with chicken wire. And I knew last year I needed to do that, and I just been waiting till we were fully expanded to put it in. And my husband and I were just like, nope, we got to do it. So that's our biggest difference. We also added a couple beds, which we'll go through here in a second. And we have an official compost pile that is contained now, which is really awesome. So that's been really, that was much needed, and I'm very grateful for that. So let's get started let's go through the different beds and what we have. If you're new here to Sustainably Rooted, welcome. And we are in zone 8B. We were recently moved to 9A, and it sounds kind of ridiculous, but I guess technically we're in zone 9A now, here in the Pacific Northwest. If you are interested in zones, there you go. For me, that difference in zone doesn't really change what I do here. Let's go through the different beds. This is our most recent bed here. This was my Mother's Day gift from my family. We all worked together to make our bed. So we have this bed here. I have the space in the back. So 1, 2. Here I have 4 beds. So I've got one in the way back, another one here, 2, 3, and 4. And I've got 4 beds on this side as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then here is where I hope to continue expanding, but for now it is cardboard, which is okay, with some pots. And then I've got my herb garden in the back there as well. So let's go through each of those beds and what we've got growing. We'll be pretty quick about it because I have so much more to show you than my vegetables. All right, going in the order that I introduced the beds, this bed is again that Mother's Day bed, and it looks like there's not much going on here, but I've got in the back my zucchinis and my yellow squash. Those are yellow straight neck squash. In the front here, I've got lettuce, and right here I've got spinach growing. Kind of in between under my zucchinis, I'm gonna grow some stuff. I just don't know what yet. I haven't decided, bok choy or lettuce, carrots, things like that. But for the most part, this bed looks pretty quiet. There are a couple starts coming up here, but hopefully we'll see more in a little bit. I also have in this corner back here some green onions from Hawaii that I've never grown before, so we'll see how those go. In our back here, I have my butternut squash and a pumpkin plant, and then I've got one rose bush that I haven't pulled out yet. My son's garden box is kind of that thing off in the middle there. I think he's got a lima bean in there. I think that's it. Going to the front one here, our hoops are here to cover with plastic earlier in the season, in the winter time, but now that it's warmed up, it's kept here so that we can cover it if it gets too hot. I've got in this bed broccoli, lettuces, a couple of radishes. I've got beets. I've got shallots growing in here. I do have some celery as well and a kale plant along this trellis here, which we put in last year. Was our first year, so this is our second year with the cattle panel trellis, which I love. We've got peas growing off to the side here, and then I've got beans that I planted that hopefully will come up soon as well. So there you go. All right, next to that bed, I've got this bed that looks like a complete hot mess. It's got a lot of stuff that are bolting and going to seed, hence all the flowers, which I'll talk through here in a second. This is all going to be cleared out, and we're going to put corn in very soon. I've got radishes right now that are starting to go to seed. It's too hot for them. I've got spinach that's going to seed, too hot for them as well. They've been in there for a while, so there you go. I've got some carrots that will stay in with the corn. This is all rapini, which we can harvest and eat. This was bok choy that has gone to seed. I just left it there for a while to see how long it would get before I pulled it out for corn, let the pollinators be happy. And then this was a kale plant that was overwintered. It went to seed, and I am going to actually keep it so that we can harvest the seeds in here. Underneath, you can see that there are onions growing across. Those are Walla Walla sweet onions, and those will stay in there when we do the corn. On the caterpillar trellis going this way, we've got a little bit of peas right now, and I've got black beans, I believe, growing across, will grow across that way. In these containers, I've got potatoes. I've got just red store-bought potatoes, Yukon gold potatoes. I think these are russet potatoes, and then I've got a purple Viking potato here. Right across from that bed, I've got the rest of the potatoes. I'm trying to see which one I prefer. Do I prefer the bags or directly in bed more? I've got Viking purple here, russet potatoes down the center, and Yukon gold potatoes off to the side. And then growing up the trellis is pinto beans and peas. So they'll grow up and over. I think this is a butternut squash that I have planted. We'll see how that doesn't look like it's doing so good, but we'll see. Across here, I've got garlic, broccoli, purple sprouting broccoli, and calabrese broccoli. I've got some red express cabbages, and some early snowball cauliflower going on. Some chives here in the back as well. In the other back bed here, I've got more cauliflower early snowballs. This was parsnips that did not germinate, and then red express cabbages with some leeks on the back end. This is a blueberry plant that is not doing so well. We'll see how that goes. And then again, I might put cucumbers here against the fence line as they go up in trellis. I'll go through here, and this is where my herb bed is. For the most part, I've got some different herbs, rosemary, sage. These are lupins. These, not a herb, flower. Oregano, thyme, and chamomile. I've got strawberries here in the center as well. In the back, I've got rhubarb and blueberries kind of across the back. The blueberries have not been doing very well, so I want to just kind of keep an eye on and see how it's been going. And I do want to clear out this lupin at some point as well. Last year, I did have this space, which was really exciting to start growing there. And last year I did have a big rose bush that was here that has been removed, and we can actually use this as an actual garden space, which is really nice. For this next bed, I've got black seeded lettuce. I've got some garlic all around the outside of the bed. I've got leeks growing right here. And then I've got some Copenhagen cabbages. Here in the center, I've got 5. Right down the middle, I've got little finger carrots. And then those 4 at the end that are bigger leaved, those are my collards that can be harvested now. And growing up our trellis right now is peas. These are all snow peas. Honestly, very surprised at how small they are right now. I thought they would be a lot bigger. But you know what? Last year I had none because of the bunnies, so I will take it. In this bed, I've got turnips right here. I've got lettuce here, broccoli, calabrese broccoli. Down the center here is going to be tomatoes. And then in the back is going to be peas going up the trellis. I've got chives here with leeks growing on the side. In the back, kind of between the tomatoes and the peas, I've got carrots that have been sowed here in the back. This is going to look a lot different once these tomatoes get bigger. So once the tomatoes get bigger, ideally all of this, the broccoli, the turnips, the lettuce, will probably be gone. The carrots will not bother. They're just going to be in the back growing steadily. And the tomatoes will grow nice and bushy and big. This big bushy thing right here is oregano. I do think I'm going to end up moving it at some point as well. And then I've got my lupins back there with a peony that eventually will need to get moved. On the other side of this bed, I've got chamomile. This right here is going to be lettuce. This is kale. I've got cauliflower here in the center. I've got celery, and then I've got some tomato plants. I've got 2 tomato plants. For my tomato plants, all of these are Roma tomatoes. I've got 4 Roma tomatoes. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna try and do what I did last year, which is from this side to the other, use a Georgia weave to kind of string them and hold them up. And on this side, I've got an early girl slicer tomato and a sun sugar cherry tomato. Again, same thing, I've got 2 T-posts that I'm going to string through. Oh yeah. I've also got some beets here growing. And I do have 2 flowers that are there in the center that I'm kind of letting grow to see what they are. I'm just kind of curious because I have a bunch of flowers kind of in this front space that all self-seeded from last year. On the cattle panel, I've got peas right now growing across, but I've planted green beans in there that should hopefully be popping up soon. So on the other side here, I've got all my herbs and my strawberries growing in this space. Again, here are my blueberry plants, rosemary, sage, things like that. Some basil. I need to get parsley in here at some point as well. And then across from this, in our cardboard section, I've got here all of our peppers. I've got sweet potatoes growing. I've got some different pepper plants here. I've got Snackabella red. These 2 in the back are Snackabella red. I've got an early jalapeno here in the front. And this is another Snackabella red right here. And then I've got here, and I think this one here, I have no idea what this is, to be honest. This one right here is going to be a mini pepper mix. I don't know. And then another sweet potato bucket back there. Hopefully this will eventually turn into another bed, but for now, I really like the buckets. There you go. To come, hopefully we'll have a drip system going in soon, which will be awesome. And also to come, hopefully there will be a greenhouse in this space. That would be really nice. So across from our garden over here, we have our water barrels, which is a huge part of our garden. We have 2 big totes here. Both hold 300 gallons of water. Both of these collect water from our gutters and put them in here. They're completely filled. They didn't take them very long to be filled at all, and hopefully we can maybe add to this at some point as well, but for the most part this is what we use to water our garden with most of the season, which has really been awesome. So the things that aren't in soil yet that I still need to find homes for are watermelon, cantaloupe, pumpkins, and cucumbers, some big vining plants that I need to find some long-term homes for. So hopefully we'll find some locations, because I don't know, it feels like I have so much space, but yet it is all filled up. So we'll see how that goes. The other thing that is just really awesome this year, that's a huge win for me, is that all of this started from seed. It either grew, I started in the house from seed, or it started out here as seed. So there are 6 plants. Those 6 tomatoes that you saw are the only things I did not grow from seed. I grew tomatoes in the house. They were super successful. They looked really good until they did not, and they completely died on me. Luckily, I know that our local CSA down the road, they do a tomato sale every year, and so originally I planned on just buying it from them and just not even worrying about doing tomatoes, but I was ambitious. I wanted to try it out in the house, and it was a really cool experience. I'm really glad I did it, but I'm glad I was able to still support the local community as well. Anyway, huge win. It's really exciting. I don't remember how many different plants or varieties you saw, but you just saw the tour. You just saw so many of them, all from seed, which is really cool. Go check out the rest of the garden, the rest of the kind of property that we have and what we've got going on. So our biggest addition probably last year was our shed. We can now house our riding lawnmower, and all of the different garden supplies that we were storing in the garage are now safely stored in our shed, which has been awesome. We also have our orchard space, which we've been working on, so we're going to take a look at that next. So here's our orchard space, which is definitely a work in progress. We used to have this really big tree here that was that we cut down and ground the stump down. So hopefully we can get a lot more in here. Our goal is to clear this area right here out and put in more fruit trees. Right now we have, and this one is going to be a pear tree, and then we have a plum tree, and then that dead thing back there is a peach tree, which, yeah, in the comments, please, advice. Dead, not dead, what do we got? We'll see what you say. So hopefully we'll have more to come. I do have 2 apple trees that we have that need to get put in, and I do need to get a Bartlett pear because that was the Bartlett pear and it is obviously very dead. In the back here we have our berries. So here in the back we're going to do our berries. We've got our 2 T-posts right now that they can kind of go up. Long term we want it to be a little bit differently, but we got some raspberries, and then we've got a marionberry and a blackberry, a thornless blackberry that looks like it's going to have a lot of berries on it. I also planted some garbanzo beans right along here that will be kind of like a bush bean. I want to do something else through here. I want to add some flowers as well to kind of help add some pollinators to the space, and some beneficial insects. But in general, I really hope that this space looks so much differently next year. And here is that sad frost peach that was doing just fine, had flowers, had leaves, and then it didn't. So, yay. So there you have it. That's our garden tour of what we have right now. I'm really hoping that this space looks so much different soon. I thought about putting in some pumpkins to kind of grow through, some maybe more strawberries and cut flowers or things like that kind of in this space that we have growing. I'm not 100% sure what it will look like, but hopefully a lot more will come there. And hopefully the next time we do a garden tour, you'll see a greenhouse and we'll be able to talk more about that. Maybe we'll see the inside of the shed. Right now it is actually clean, but it's just, I don't know, not really tested to see how this current storage situation is in a full summer. Last year we got it at the end of the summer, just organized it, and we haven't even been in there very much. So we'll see how that goes and how that organizing happens. So much awesome things to see as we go through here. If you're new here, that is not our dog. This is my mom's dog that's hanging out with us. So this is Piper. Hi, Pipes. She's our garden dog for the day. Hope that you can be here along with me on this journey. In the comments below, what did you see that you want to learn more about? What questions do you have? I'm excited to hear just how's your journey going, things like that. And hopefully we'll do another tour coming up. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being sustainably rooted. See ya.